What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? How the heck are you today? Another sideways day. Another boring sideways day for Bitcoin, right? I know. Everyone's negative. Everyone's upset. Not this cat. Not this cat, guys. I'm feeling good. In a good mood. Feeling great. Feeling awesome. DCA, I'm going to do a little bit more DCAing. Keep an eye out on the Patreon for my buy alerts, guys. I will be posting it over there. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Listen, things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good. Might not feel like it right now, but there's a lot of indicators that I like to use, a lot of metrics. And one of them is social engagement. And what I mean by that is when generally people are pissing and moaning and whining and complaining about the price action of Bitcoin and crypto, it usually says to me, we're about to go to the moon. So market generally does the opposite of what the sentiment in the market is. So the more bearish people are acting, the more bullish I become. All right, let's get into these super stickers. What do we got? Lizzie, thank you so much. Lizzie, I appreciate you. AKP, thank you so much, my friend. Hook 'em. Time to dial in, folks. We've done the work. Now trust the process. Don't start chasing shiny lures to gain a quick buck. Amen to that, man. Amen to that. You're absolutely right, my friend. You're absolutely right. Don't go chasing waterfalls, man. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to. Beebs, what's going on, my dude? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Cody, hey, Rob, I try and report the bots on the. It doesn't really do anything. I've tried keeping up with deleting the bots. I've tried eliminating the, the certain words that they use and stuff like that, and just nothing works. Nothing works. So. But I appreciate it, man. WF Capital, what's up, my guy? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Crypto Puppet Trader. Thanks for the heads up on the FOMC bullish. Hey, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We got some sideways action there. Nothing new, guys. Nothing new. We knew that, though, right? We were expecting that. That's what was priced into the market. And that's why, you're seeing tiny little bit of volatility. Bitcoin's at 117,000. We'll call it $562, but it didn't dump because everyone was expecting a pause. There was no brand new information here when it came to that, right? So nobody cared. I don't know. Some people were expecting a surprise rate cut, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I know that Powell's going to be speaking soon. I'm kind of in toss. It's kind of a toss up for me. I'm kind of up in the air on whether I want to play it or not. For one, he never really says anything of value. And for two, you guys don't engage when I'm playing it. When I'm playing that kind of stuff, nobody engages. There's no comments. There's no questions. There's no super chats. There's no likes. It just kind of flatlines the channel. Everyone's here, but nobody's engaging in any way, shape, or form. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to play it. So we could just play the recap later of what he says. So, yeah, I don't know. I know he's speaking soon. What else do we got? WF Capital, my 40 mil looking and performing great. Let's get it, buddy. Let's get it. Absolutely, man. That's what I like to hear. Devin, let's go, Zebec. Lizzie, hey. Oh, awesome people. Let's go, Zebec. Also, anybody that's not on the pay chair and get your butt over there, Patreon, she means, lots of amazing people to help you. And also, thank you, Rob, for everything. Lizzie, absolutely no problem, dear. Absolutely no problem. It is my pleasure. I love having you over there, Lizzie. And she's absolutely right, guys. You could be a part of a community that's going to help give you the tools to succeed in this space and make actual life-changing wealth for yourself for less than a cup of coffee a day, right? So the choice is yours, guys. All-American Meathead with JPMorgan now working with Chase. Could that make it easier to off-ramp profits now? Would it become a trusted institution? Maybe. It depends. It depends. But not I have a video coming out later tonight, guys, just kind of talking about this. A lot of people are putting the cart before the horse with this kind of stuff. This stuff happening right now, these announcements are good, but the effects are not going to take place until down the road, right? A lot of people are thinking that because this announcement was made, that all of a sudden tomorrow, bam, instant, effects of the cause. And that's not how it works. A lot of this positive stuff that's happening for crypto, partnerships, on-ramping, off-ramping, bills being passed, all of this stuff is going to take a couple of years to take place. Too many people are putting the cart before the horse, thinking that it's instant gratification, that we're going to see instant results from this stuff taking place, and that's just not the case, my friends, right? So we don't even have legal framework yet. That's not even supposed to, digital asset framework's not even supposed to be passed at the earliest until the end of September, and people are acting and talking now like it's already passed and we have full legal framework now and it's nothing but up. And too many people putting the cart before the horse, in my opinion, man. Paul, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for being there for us, Rob. You are the man. Hey, absolutely no problem, Paul. Thank you for being there for me too, man. Thanks for being there for me too. 555 Improvement Services. Breaking news, the inventor of the heat index has passed away. He was 88, but felt like he was 107. Turn up the heat Wednesday. Let's go. What a guy. What a guy. What else do we have? Mary. For some reason, it's giving me everybody's ats again and not their names on here. I don't know why it does that from time to time. Aggravating, but whatever. I digress. Rob, we need dancing emojis for YouTube music. And dancing cats on something. I'm also a sissy bear. Nice. Eric. Hey, Rob, I saw an old video of you talking about Layer AI. Is this still a legit project in your opinion? Does it have significant upside this bull run? Oh, I haven't looked at Layer AI in quite some time. Let's have a look. Let's have a looky-loo. It's a high risk, high reward play, right? It's very low market cap. It's got good tokenomics and stuff, but it's an AI play. I need to read up on what's been happening lately with it in the news, if there's any negative news or anything like that. But yes, unless anything bad has happened that I'm unaware of, it's still a good project in my opinion, for sure. For sure. Paul, nice to see you again, my friend. Absolutely. The Icy Oracle. Hey, Rob. There's a scammer on X, has your name with an underscore trying to shill a trading program. Yeah, they're starting to impersonate me over on X. If you guys can report the impersonators, I have a blue check mark, guys. So if you see anybody else out there, they don't have the blue check mark, then it's not me, right? Spuds, my dude, what's going on? 85 crash, panic seller here. Hope to make some dough this year. Absolutely, guys, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe on the way in. It helps the channel grow. It costs you absolutely nothing at all, guys. It's absolutely free. Believe it or not, no BS. It is no BS. It's absolutely free. So definitely take advantage of it. Everything that's free, you should take advantage of, right? Sanders, what's up, buddy? What's up, 10% squad? Zebec showing some signs of life. Yes, it is. It was pumping pretty hard earlier. Let's go have a look over at Zebec right now. What's going on? It was pumping about an hour ago. All right, we got Ethereum still putting in higher lows and higher highs. You love to see that. We have two neutral daily candles in a row on Ethereum. But we're going to go look at Zebec. Look at that. Perfectly ping-ponging inside this bull pennant. Perfectly, top and bottom. I told you guys, this is probably going to ping-pong inside this bull pennant for 3 to 5 days, in my opinion, before it breaks to the upside again. But a break to the upside is coming nevertheless. That's just my opinion, guys. That's just my opinion. Nick, what's up, man? Hey, Rob, is Zebec hitting a penny on the first? What's your prediction? On the first, yes, at 2:13 and 25 seconds p.m. What else do we have? Ramona, everyone, please hit the like. Yes, absolutely, guys. Smash that like button. Listen to our crypto mom, or you will be disciplined accordingly. Tony, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. J Money's in the house. We got our first Pokemon of the day, Bulbasaur, hanging out with us. Delton, giant sissy bear over here. There you go. That's what I like to see, man. Sissy bears in full effect. AKP, love our Patreon 10% club. Absolutely, man. Best community in crypto. And to be a part of it, it's less than a cup of coffee a day. Are you kidding me right now? H. Barbarino, what's going on, buddy? When does the airdrop take place for Zebec on the Decent wallet? August 20th. August 20th. Tony, this is going to get crazy. Amen to that, man. Hope your bags are packed. Yes, Braveheart's in the house. 85 Crash. Hey, Rob, you think Jasmine will have another low so I can DCA? I don't know, man. I think everything's pretty close to their local bottoms right now, to be honest with you. I think we'll see a little bit of volatility today, but I think we'll end up pumping later. Quentin, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Where are we here? Where are we? Jackie, what's happening? Ready to make that money? Amen. Amen to that. Mark, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Just so you guys know, I have a video coming out later tonight because I've seen a lot of questions lately. People asking me about Jasmine's all-time high and if it can reach it again this cycle and what happened to cause the price to come down so much. So I did a video. It's coming out later tonight explaining what happened with Jasmine's all-time high, why the price is dropped down below a penny, and all of that stuff, because facts and circumstances matter. So if you want some education into the history of what happened with Jasmine and where it can go in the future, you're going to want to check out that video. Cryptus. Hey, Rob, can you take a look at Cubic? Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate all you do. I've always been bearish on Cubic because their promotion, like their marketing, is absolutely insane, but all of it is like artificial, and there's no community behind the project that I've seen. Right? I've not seen any community. I've seen ads and articles. I can't even go onto Facebook without seeing a Cubic ad, right? And the fact that I don't see any like actual human beings pushing it or talking about it, there's no community, that for me says it's artificial. But I'll show you what I mean here. I might be thinking about a different project, but let me show you something here, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Come on. Oops. Okay. So if I go to the news over on CoinMarketCap, just as an example, right? And it's been like this for a long time. I'll scroll through the news, look at what's going on. You'll end up hitting like 5 Cubic articles in a row, right? Watch now, none are going to pop up because I said that, right? But if you scroll through, you'll see what I mean. Check it out from time to time. You'll see like 5 in a row, right? And it's just constant shilling. It happens multiple times a day. And of course, it's not happening because I'm talking about it, right? But yeah, so that for me is a red flag. Of course, yeah, nothing's popping up because I said it, right? But usually, I swear it's true. There's usually like a crap load of articles, like 5 in a row, and it's just like shill. But I don't see any community shilling it. I don't see any real people telling me about it or anything like that, right? That's what makes me kind of bearish on it. It seems artificial, and when something seems artificial like that, it seems like a scam, right? And it's been like that for a long time. Like BlockDag's kind of like that too. You'll see like multiple articles about BlockDag. They just shill the crap out of it, right? But of course, it's not going to pop up because I talked about it. So obviously, but yes, I will look at it for you here. $318 million market cap. The tokenomics are atrocious. They're terrible, right? 200 trillion max supply. 200 trillion. AI play layer 1. So I don't like the tokenomics on it at all. All-time high was 4012. It's 502 now. As for listings, it's got some tier 2 listings, but no tier 1 listings. So in general, to be honest with you, Cryptus, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. So Ben, hey everyone, as Spencer likes to say, head up, shoulders out, and let's go. Absolutely. Mark, Zebec gonna blast. We all know it. I told you. So FOMO is kicking in. E-dubs, what's happening, brother? Hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much. Mike, good to see you, man. Good to see you. David, what's going on? Crypto perpetrator. Hey, Rob, my decent wallet arrived. She's here. There you go. There's Gamma Goddess. What's going on? It's okay to need a sissy bear pillow after you dry your eyes, put your bullish face and attitude on. No one is broke. We're pre-rich. Let's get this money. Absolutely. That is the wise words of wisdom from our very own Gamma Goddess. Another local in the house, Volks. What's going on, buddy? Penny Packer, Ari. How you doing, Ari? Good to see you. Jared, good to see you, man. Chris, hey, Rob, what do you think? Zebec can reach 1 to 2 cents by August? I hope so. I hope so. Richie Rich, what's up, buddy? Bearish people will help pump my bags. Exactly. Isaac, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Ditto's in the house. We got our second Pokemon going on. Over the top. William, good to see you. Dominic, miss your brother. 3 cents for Zebec. Let's go, man. Sissy Wuss, Chicken Bear. F. Powell, yes. In Rob, we trust. There you go. All right, let's get into the news a little bit here, guys. I'm gonna skip ahead because otherwise I'll be stuck in the chat all day. If you want to get my attention, send your question, comment, or concern over in a super chat, and I will get to it. And Ramona says, "What's going on, Gamma?" Absolutely. What is Gamma doing these days? Crypto J505, what's happening, man? Strawberry Dragon, David, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Why does Tether need a new stablecoin? That is exactly the question I asked when I covered the article the other day, because their Tether USDT obviously is not backed one-to-one. So they need to create a new stablecoin for the United States that meets compliance. Isn't that strange? I've been saying that all along, my friend. I've been saying that all along. Brandon, I see the future in Zebec. I've been gathering quant to hold. There you go. There you go. All right, let's get into the news, guys. Let's see what's going on out there in the crypto world. But as always, make sure you pick yourself up your decent wallet, guys. Make sure you use the coupon code FUTURE20OFF in the link down in the description. Get yourself a free Zebec AIRDROP and $20 off your decent wallet, guys. You cannot go wrong. Not your keys, not your coins. Let's get into it, guys. Let's see what's going on around the space today. So Trump tweeted out quarter 2 GDP just out 3%, way better than expected. Too late, must now lower the rate. No inflation. Let people buy and refinance their homes. I agree. But alas, we did not see a rate cut. We saw a pause. Now, this is kind of ironic, my friends. None other than Jamie Dimon and JPMorgan have now partnered with Coinbase to make buying crypto easier. Yes. Now, just as a little bit of a refresher, here's a 30-second clip of what Jamie Dimon publicly has been saying about crypto for years.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case. because it is somewhat anonymous, not fully, and because you can move money instantaneously, and because it doesn't go through, as you mentioned, all these systems have built up over many years, know your customer, sanctions, OFAC, they can get bypass all of that. If I was the government, I'd close it down.
Okay.
I've always been deep.
If I was the government, I would close crypto down. It is primarily used by criminals. Those are his words, testifying in front of Congress. So now he's decided to partner with Coinbase to make it easier to purchase an asset that, in his own words, is primarily used by criminals. And if he was the government, he would shut it down. Do you now see why I tell you guys, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. Put your pennies where they put their dollars. Because the whole time that this gentleman was on national television and in front of Congress testifying under oath in a derogatory sense against crypto, he was buying it, telling you not to. Now he's getting ready to dump his bags, so he's making it easier for his clients to purchase it so he can dump on them, right? This, my friends, is what a weasel looks like. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, yes. So to kind of continue off of that, we have this article. JPMorgan partners with Coinbase for direct crypto integration. Yes, again, the man who said that crypto is primarily used for criminal activity. JPMorgan Chase and Coinbase have partnered to allow Chase customers direct access to Coinbase crypto wallets, marking a significant institutional shift towards crypto integration. This collaboration highlights a growing trend in traditional finance embracing digital currencies, potentially influencing market dynamics and setting a precedent for future institutional partnerships. JPMorgan Chase has announced a strategic partnership with Coinbase, marking a major shift in the institutional posture towards cryptocurrencies. This collaboration allows direct integration of Chase accounts with Coinbase crypto wallets, a groundbreaking development. Chase customers can now link their bank accounts, utilize Chase Ultimate Rewards points, and fund their Coinbase wallets via credit cards. This integration promises enhanced security and privacy, revolutionizing the way customers engage with digital currencies. Melissa Faldshire, head of payments and lending innovation at JPMorgan Chase, noted, quote, "The partnership enhances the security and privacy of customer data while allowing them to use their money and rewards in a new way." The partnership indicates increased institutional acceptance of digital assets, with user data access becoming more streamlined. Traditional and crypto markets may experience enhanced transaction speed and privacy, transforming customer interactions with digital financial services. Experts suggest the integration could be a turning point for crypto adoption and traditional finance. Although no immediate on-chain spikes were noted, potential BTC and Ethereum impacts are anticipated, prompted by eased fiat onboarding and increased user engagement. So it is good. It's just ironic that the main bad guy in this story against crypto is making it easier for his customers to now buy it. Previous integrations, such as Plaid with Coinbase, relied on third-party intermediaries. This direct bank-to-wallet connection signifies a shift in U.S. banking approach to crypto. Such moves historically foster bullish sentiment for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bloomberg Tax Professional Services can provide additional insights, yada, yada, yada. I would love to have been a fly on the wall for the phone call that Elizabeth Warren probably made to Jamie Dimon today, screaming his head off. That must have been a show. All right, a little bit of Swift news for you guys. We don't talk about Swift enough. So check out Swift Coin's metrics for the last year, guys. Benchmarks performance in the last year up 211%, up 70.5% versus Bitcoin, up 164.46% versus Ethereum, and against the market in the past year, it is up 91%. So Swift Coin, by all metrics, has been absolutely dominating. Let's get into an article piece here. Our economists don't think the Fed will be cutting at all in 2025. What the heck are you talking about?
Set to issue its latest monetary policy decision this afternoon. Join us now, Mark Cabana, head of U.S. rate strategy at Bank of America Securities. Fed guidance, it gets criticized a lot. We just had Kevin Warsh on not too long ago, and there are a lot of people that say, why do we need to know every waking thought? But we do know every waking thought. As a result of that, I guess you're not expecting any major surprises today, are you?
That's right. No, we expect the Fed to keep rates on hold. We expect fairly limited forward guidance from Chair Powell. We think he's going to retain a data-dependent, wait-and-see type of approach. And we do think that this is going to be a bit disappointing to at least what the bond market is expecting, because the bond market's pricing better than even odds that the Fed will be cutting in September. And we just don't think that we're going to necessarily get that signal from Powell today.
We talked about that actually yesterday, that they're in wait-and-see mode because nobody knows about the inflationary impact, whether it's just a rise in costs or an actual second derivative rise in inflation from tariffs. Since we don't know that, we're waiting.
Exactly.
So why do we assume that when we get the data, when it does finally come in, why do we assume we'll be able to cut in September? That if we know that it's not going to be inflationary, we can cut in September, then why not cut now?
Well, we're still waiting. We think the market has a bit of wishful thinking as to a Fed that's going to cut soon. There's a lot of political pressure on the Fed, as you know.
Yeah.
Interestingly and unusually, we think we're going to see 2 governor dissents, or at least 1 at this meeting, maybe 2, from Governor Waller and Bowman. You haven't seen 2 dissents since the 1990s.
Austin, not Goolsbee.
Nope, not him. But we're going to see that from a couple of, at least 1 other Fed governor, maybe 2. And it does just speak to a bit of disagreement within the Fed more broadly. Now, that wishful thinking that the market seems to have about near-term cuts is rooted in a belief that there will be some disinflationary evidence over time, but our economists think that you're going to potentially see July core PCE with a 3% handle on it.
Yeah.
That's inflation that's rising. That doesn't really give the Fed the green light to be cutting anytime soon.
Right, inflation that might be 3% when any of the cracks in the labor market were the demise is greatly exaggerated. It just hasn't
completely agree with you. The unemployment rate, which is the best single summary indicator of the labor market, especially given the challenges and the changes that we're seeing in labor supply, was last at 4.1%. That's extremely low. The Fed, in their lowest estimate for the unemployment rate at the end of this year, was at 4.3%. So you're sort of out of bounds strong as far as the labor market goes. And to use Chair Powell's words, the labor market isn't exactly crying out for rate cuts.
Yeah, so they could justify, if they really do have 2 mandates, they could justify that one seems to be under control. Both of them seem under control, but if one isn't under control, the inflation side would be the one to worry about.
That's exactly right. And again, the bond market seems to be pricing in a lot of cuts right now. We wouldn't be surprised to see front-end yields rise today as we learn that Powell is not going to perhaps justify the extent of the cuts that are priced. Our economists have had a great call. They don't think that the Fed will be cutting at all in 2025. So that's almost 45 basis points that are priced for the year that could potentially come out.
You think there's any way that the Fed could end up with egg on its face from a chicken, whether it's first, I don't know how that works exactly. But do you think, here's the scenario that I'm saying where they could end up looking bad. We really are missing the bigger picture on inflation. And there are major forces in housing or shelter that are coming down, that this is going to be a one-shot deal. Companies are going to absorb a lot of it, and you're not going to see inflation, that we're still on that glide path eventually to 2%. And there's no reason not to have loosened, because we're too tight right now, really.
That is the risk that they are taking.
And it could happen, couldn't it?
It
And
certainly could.
the fingers would be pointed at him and say, you don't want to be political, yet you were not independent because you couldn't cut, because you had to resist what looked like pressure.
If you look at the stuff in the stock market with the meme stocks that take off and other things,
All,
that indicates
it's all
we're not too
systems.
tight.
Yeah, all systems.
So I think that's a
But
great
we got
point.
AI controlling why,
Right.
you know, that's half this market is up on AI.
I think you can ask yourself, how restrictive is monetary policy today?
Yeah.
I think it's a very
Does
good
anyone
question.
know?
No,
No one knows.
But if you look at equity markets, I think they're telling you that it's not terribly restrictive. If
Right.
you look at the dollar, it's not telling you it's terribly restrictive. If you look at the labor market, it's not telling you that it's terribly restrictive. So the Fed is taking a risk here in keeping monetary policy potentially
Nice
too
to have some
tight
dry
for
powder
too long.
Always be, these were hard-won rate increases that were difficult.
It's hard if you're trying to buy a house right now. I
But it is
understand
hard,
that, but it's also hard if you're a senior and you're saving and you're getting nothing for it if they lower rates. So there's always winners and
Exactly,
losers with what
exactly.
happens.
But the way they judge things right now is that the labor market's not crying out for a cut. Inflation is higher than they would like.
Yeah.
They think that they can be patient and wait and see, but the bond market continues to expect some easing later this year.
So you get off on talking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, is it interesting to you? Are
It's
there
interesting to me. Yeah.
Would you, I mean, are there people watching about, you know, recipes on other morning shows? I mean,
I
we just
don't-
spent 10 minutes micro-analyzing these people on whether they go a
Oh,
quarter.
Joe, we didn't even really get started because there's a Treasury supply announcement
you
this
are.
morning.
You are.
At
Yeah, you
8:30.
want to get into the Treasury supply thing? I
Yeah,
think it's actually pretty
that
fast.
too.
Yeah. So I
could
think,
matter.
I think a lot of bond market people would tell you that that's the bigger risk event today. It's the supply
Supply side?
announcement at 8:30.
Explain to everybody what's going on, because I think this actually is a complicated issue.
So the U.S. Treasury issues a lot of debt,
Right.
as you know. There's only about 4 times a year when they provide guidance to the market as
Right.
to what their intentions are with regards to how they borrow,
Mhm.
where they're going to be financing, how much they're going to be issuing at the long end versus the short end. And this morning at 8:30 is one of those 4
It'll
opportunities.
be all short.
That's what we think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. And I think you've heard
Janet
from
Yellen.
the president and the Treasury Secretary that they don't want to term out at these rate levels. They
Right.
think that long end rates are too high. They anticipate that the rates will be moving lower. So they're going to be financing pretty much everything incremental at the very front end.
Right.
And that's going to be putting a little bit more upward pressure on
So
bills.
do you think that that's the right decision? Do you think that that's a mistake?
I think that they're headed down a path that's a little non-traditional for them, because it does seem to be a Treasury nowadays that's a bit more willing to try and time the market.
Right.
Most Treasury secretaries will tell you that. Look,
Right?
the
No, they
market-
never
But
wanted to do
that
it.
started under Janet Yellen. They did a lot of this short-term stuff.
They did do a decent amount, especially in the last couple of years
Yeah.
that she was there. But we think that we'll be seeing bill levels, which is the really short stuff, that are the highest in terms of percent of the total portfolio that we've seen probably since the early 2000s under Besant, unless long end rates come down more meaningfully. And so we're just looking to see what kind of guidance we're going to get out of the Treasury this morning. As you know, there's been a lot of concern about what the back end of the rates curve is doing and how volatile that's been at times. There are expectations that Treasury may ramp up their so-called buyback programs, where they buy back long-end debt, maybe issue more front-end debt. The market's looking for a signal around that at 8:30. And if they don't get it, there are risks that the back end of the rates curve comes undone.
Yeah, Bitcoin taking a little bit of a dive right now, a little bit of a dive. I don't know what Powell's saying. Maybe he said something bearish. I don't know. We'll get into it later today. But yeah, $115,900, guys. I'll tell you right now, I will be buying today. Don't be surprised if we wick down and touch the 30-day down here. But again, it doesn't matter where Bitcoin's price wicks to, guys. It matters where the candles close. If we can get back up over this white line here, $117,260 for the close, that is what we will be watching for, right? Look how far we came down just, 5 days ago. We dropped all the way down to 114,697. So, yeah, I mean, boom. Andy, my dude, dropping that cheddar. The Patreon is going to kill it on Zebec and your gems. A massive thanks to you, Rob, and your hard work. P.S. guys, rule Ramona and Gamma except Spencer, obviously. Absolutely. Absolutely. Screw that Spencer guy, right? Good times. Good times. Thank you so much, Andy. I needed a good laugh, brother. I needed a good laugh. All right. What else do we have, man? What else do we have? Let's check out. Actually, what I also want to do real quick here is, oh yeah, Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum's dropping a little bit too. 36.93 right now. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So let's get into this piece. Ethereum ETF inflows soar in July, outpacing the last 11 months combined. Ethereum's 11th anniversary is proving to be more than symbolic, as the network celebrates a decade since mining its Genesis block on July 30th. Data shows a record-breaking surge in institutional demand. Spot Ethereum ETFs recorded $5.41 billion in net inflows in July alone, surpassing the combined capital entries in the previous 11 months, which stood at $4.21 billion as of June 2025. Data from So Value shows that Ethereum's ETFs have had $9.62 billion in cumulative funds deposits since their launch in July of 2024. However, the inflows haven't been consistent. The first quarter of 2025 was more muted. January and February saw a combined $161.23 million in new capital before a poor swinging in March led to more than $403 million flowing out of the ETFs. Since then, the product has been on a tear, with investment activity growing exponentially month after month to finally hit $5.41 billion in July. The explosion suggests a shift from institutional caution to aggressive accumulation, with ETH emerging as the clear beneficiary of this sentiment shift. Data from So Value shows that BlackRock's ETHA alone now holds $11.39 billion in assets, while Grayscale's ETHE remains in recovery after $4.31 billion in cumulative withdrawals. Well, that's because Grayscale's fees are so insane, right? Everyone sells their Grayscale ETFs and they move over to BlackRock and Fidelity because Grayscale's charging like 1.5% or something like that. So that's why. Price momentum builds as ETH. So basically what you're seeing here with the transition with BlackRock's ETF, Spot Ethereum ETF, climbing so much in July and Grayscale's dumping so much in July, it's pretty obvious what happened. Grayscale's customers sold their Spot Ethereum ETF trust with Grayscale and went and bought over at BlackRock for a fraction of the fee. That's what happened, right? The price of Ethereum has also seen a fair amount of growth recently. At the time of writing, it was trading at $3,786. That's roughly where it is right now. Up 3.1% over the past week, a 19.5% in the last fortnight. You don't hear fortnight often. Right? It's also climbed 53.3% across 30 days, moving from around $2,470 to approach $3,900 range. Absolutely bullish for Ethereum, guys. Very, very nice. You love to see it. You love to see it. And then we got this, speaking of Ethereum. 3 reasons why Ethereum's rally to 10K dream is alive in 2025. Ethereum rally to $10,000 is a narrative driving speculation among traders in H2 2025. They might have meant Q2 2025. H2. The largest altcoin has outperformed Bitcoin and Solana in the past month. Ethereum purchases by public companies is driving demand for Ether, and analysts at Standard Chartered believe that this won't stop anytime soon. While BitGet wallet experts set a $10,000 target for Ethereum, UK bank Standard Chartered says that companies could end up owning 10% of all Ethereum, a 10% increase from the current levels. In this deep dive, we explore the reasons why Ethereum's dream rally to $10,000 is likely closer than anticipated. Bitcoin rally's biggest driver in 2025 bull run is institutional adoption. Purchases of Bitcoin for company treasuries and nations states adding a Bitcoin to their balance sheets. A similar phenomenon could trigger a bull run in Ethereum. 1% of Ethereum's circulating supply is currently being held by 11 firms identified by UK bank Standard Chartered. The bank holds millions of crypto on their balance sheets, and the demand for Ethereum remains high. Experts at the bank predict a tenfold increase in Ethereum's holdings of the companies, meaning that 10% of Ethereum's circulating supply could be held and controlled by firms. Jeffrey Kendrick, Standard Chartered's head of digital assets, is quoted in the note that the bank sent out its investors on Tuesdays. Quote, they may eventually end up owning 10% of all Ethereum, a 10x increase from current holdings. Ethereum purchases by Bitmine, GameSquare, and SharpLink exceed $3.5 billion, according to CoinGecko data, acting as a catalyst for Ethereum's price rally. Spot Ethereum ETFs have recorded net positive inflows since July 7th as institutional investors gobble up Ether faster than they did Bitcoin. The data support a bullish thesis for Ethereum. CoinGlass data shows the Ethereum ETF flows, as you can see. ETF inflows across 2.3 billion within a week, supporting demand for the largest altcoin. The institutional demand for Ethereum is expected to keep rising, with the largest Ethereum treasury firm, Bitmine Emerson Technologies, signaling a $1 billion stock repurchase program for Ethereum purchases. As Wall Street giants warm up to Ethereum as a treasury reserve asset, demand is likely to drive the altcoin's price higher. BTCS made a strategic pivot from mining Bitcoin to buying Ethereum for their treasury. The US-based publicly traded digital asset firm has observed over 130% increase in its stock price year to date, and a 600% increase in the last 3 years. The pivot to Ethereum treasury has had a positive impact on the company as it evolved from an online Bitcoin marketplace to a key infrastructure developer on the Ethereum blockchain and a strategic Ethereum holder. BTCS owns approximately $270 million worth of Ethereum at an average price of over $3,800. Charles Allen, CEO of BTCS Inc., told Milk Road co-founder Kyle Reedhead that he loves Bitcoin, but it doesn't do anything. Bitcoin is a treasury asset, while Ethereum has the power to change how assets move around the world. The first step for most Ethereum treasury companies is to buy Ethereum and stake it. Use Aave to lend Ether and generate an income from lending. Commenting on what's next after these two steps, Allen says there are more projects in the pipeline and the firm plans on buying more Ethereum. BTCS is focused on making Ethereum blockchain faster and better. With several projects on the roadmap, the Ethereum treasury company is focused on making Ethereum more valuable and says it is a responsibility of public companies to buy Ethereum tokens. Experts are bullish on Ethereum. What do we got? Gracie Chen, CEO of crypto exchange BitGet, is bullish on Ethereum. She says, quote, Ethereum is a competitive advantage in capturing the largest share of its market. Institutional investors consider Ethereum the next emerging treasury asset after Bitcoin. CEO of Bondex says, when Ethereum's first emerged in 2015, Its narrative was often framed around potential as a blockchain to be built on. 10 years later, Ethereum has more than served that purpose. It has drafted the playbook. What I like, listen, not to bash Ethereum or anything, but what I love that people leave out is how Ethereum would not be where it is today if it was not for what's his name, Bill Hinman, giving it illegal clarity and suing Ripple. Ethereum would not be where it is today if it wasn't for that little blip in history that people tend to forget and leave out, right? Don't need any more quotes. Ethereum's price rally analysis. Ethereum's rallied 56% in nearly 3 days between July 8th and 28th, hitting $3,941, just shy of $4,000. Psychologically important level. Ethereum's rally could hit pause before another leg up, which we have done right now. He sounded more hawkish. He sounded more hawkish than expected. Oh, okay. Well, we're recovering a little bit now, 116,200 almost. So we're seeing bullish signs anyways. Happy birthday, Ethereum, blah, blah, blah. Ethereum's looking good, guys. It is primed, jack stacked, and fanny packed. Let's get into the next piece. Oh, we don't have a next piece. We don't have a next piece. That's it, my friends. Let's go back and look at Bitcoin, starting to recover a little bit here. All right. Look at that. $116,276. Can we get back up over $117,260 and close there? That is what I want to see, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I have a coaching call to do over on the Patreon, my friends. Listen, if you need help in this space, guys, if you need guidance, if you've never been through a bull run before, invest in your education in this space for less than a cup of coffee a day. You can join the 10% Club over in the Patreon community with thousands of other members there to help you succeed. Swing trade opportunities, microcap gems. We're live every single day. Get all of your questions answered in the training that you need to succeed in this space. The link is in the pinned comments. It's in the description. It's in the chat. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.